Hello everyone and welcome to Off the Record with Judah
and Kirk.
Today we're going to be diving on into the final issue of this epic event that is known as DCKO with DCKO number 5.
So excited to talk about this.
DC Comics, yeah. And you have credits. So.
I do. We have 2 writers, Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson, the GOATs, and 3 artists, Javi Fernandez, Xermánico, and Wes Craig.
This is true. So we're going to dive into our overall thoughts, not just on this issue, but probably the event as a whole.
Yes.
And then
including a lot of some of the tie-ins.
Yeah, some of the tie-ins, and then also dig into the plot of this issue and what we're excited to see and what theories we might have going forward.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Kirk, overall thoughts, issue, then event, and then I'll go. I think that's pretty fair.
Okay. So, issue was really good. As usual, I believe I said in DCKO 4 that so far the first one was the best, second one was the next best, third, then fourth, in that order. Yeah. This one, though, I'm putting it pretty much, yeah, it does. I'm putting it, I don't know that I can say it's tied with issue 1, but
might be 2.
It's close. 0.1 off from whatever score I gave that, which I don't remember.
9.5.
So 9.4. This is great to give it that number rating. But art, obviously, great as usual. Some really interesting things went on with the kind of Luthor side of things. Where we left off last time was Luthor had won the tournament was now going to fight Darkseid.
Yeah.
When we get into the details, we'll see what happens with that. But kind of that side of things was really interesting, and I thought there was a really funny line in there that I will mention when we get to it. And I liked a lot of kind of what we got with, as you mentioned a little bit already with Gabe in your comic stack, number 8. I believe it's 8, which you guys should all go watch.
Yeah, if you haven't already.
You absolutely should. They're always great, and I love listening through them as I'm editing them. But you guys did mention in that there's this kind of, I almost said Darkseid, time trapper.
Yeah. Side
of, and what's his name as well? The
Doomsday.
Other one? Doomsday, yeah. He, it's this cycle of death and rebirth with him and Superman that's constantly going on.
Yeah.
And kind of where that leads with the Alpha and the Omega energy.
Yeah.
Was really interesting. Again, don't want to get into too many details there, but I thought that was a really cool plot point, essentially, that was going on that you guys also mentioned in your video.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then for the
event as a whole,
really great. Some of the best stuff I've ever read in comics.
Yeah.
Genuinely really, really cool. What a great time to get into it, because it's an epic event that resets things. Which, sorry, that's some slight spoilers there.
Spoilers, guys.
Slightly resets some things by the end. We'll get into exactly how that happens, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
So don't just hear that and say, well, I know now. Bye.
Yeah.
It gets really cool. So make sure you pick this up and read it yourself, and then make sure you listen through the end of this to what we've said.
Yes.
But really great time to get into it, because that's a lot of pressure off, essentially.
For you especially.
Yeah, exactly. I can start getting into comics with fresh stuff that's just starting with some new histories, right? As always, though, there's probably going to be some things that stay the same, and I would kind of want to know those things, but still, regardless, it's a little bit better. And yeah, again, just a great event. To rate the overall event with all the tie-ins and everything.
Well, which tie-ins have you read? Let's let the audience know that.
Fair. I have read all of the Fight Month stuff, which we made video on.
Mm-hmm.
I have read, obviously, 1 through 5. I have read the surrounding 6 issues, I believe, of Superman.
Yes.
I have read Knightfight and The Kids Are All Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything?
Battle.
Boss Battle. That doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
That was horrible. It genuinely shouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so everything included, I would put... this might be controversial, or it might not be. I don't know. But I'm going to put 9.5, which is interesting, because only issue 1 hit 9.5,
and then all the other,
and then everything was below that.
Down,
so if you were to average those numbers together, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But just overall as a whole, okay, maybe I haven't read literally every single tie-in issue, but the tie-in issues that I have read were, for the most part, really good. 1 through 5 main DCKO, really, really good.
Fantastic.
And certainly some more of the best comic I've ever read was the volume surrounding with Superman.
Yes.
I believe, is it 31 was it started?
30 through 35, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Something like that. Really, really good there, too.
Yeah.
So, 9.5.
Yeah.
What about your thoughts?
This issue is... I have bias. I will acknowledge my bias. This feeds my bias and nostalgia and everything I like about DC. So I will acknowledge that. This is excellent. Like, I always am optimistic about DC, but I can firmly say that not only this issue is great, but this event is great. And that's the first time I've probably been able to say that since it's been maybe 20 years since it's like a great event. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, oh, it's good. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I'm interested to see what that does. It's more like, this is great.
This is a must read.
This is a must read. This issue is excellent. The art is superb. Joshua Williamson and Scott Snyder, they have this story together, and the way that they are able to work together and weave all of these elements into this beautiful web is just fantastic. Time Trapper stuff we mentioned is great. I love bringing that in from Superman. I read going just this issue alone. I would probably as well give it like I might be maybe lower than you, but I'm still gonna say like 9.25 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Like, it's great. Like, it's good. The event as a whole, I read all 42 issues, all the tie-ins, Aquaman, Flash, Titans, Justice League Unlimited. Literally, I read everything for this event. Every one-shot, every regular series tie-in. And overall, if I just think of those, it's like an 8 out of 10, which is really good for that 42 issues. That's 42 issues, that's average at an 8 out of 10. Now, if I think of the stuff Kirk mentioned, it's closer to a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 9.75. Like, I think that Superman arc that ties into the DCKO is 10 out of 10.
I think it's 11 out of 10.
Like, it's a superb, and I think Knightfight, like, having gone back and sat one afternoon and just read the entirety of Knightfight in one sitting, Knightfight is closer to 10 out of 10. Like, you take it issue by issue, it's harder, but, like, if you have that full narrative together, it's good.
Which I did.
Yeah, which you did.
At 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m. one night. And that's great. But this is great. This is peak. This is DC not only returning to form, it's kind of like breaking form and just like absolutely dominating all of the competition, because this is excellent. This is peak. And you can argue with me in the comments down below. You can say this, that, or the other.
And please do if you disagree.
But even looking at like review apps for DCKO as an event, the lowest rating I've seen for any of the issues is a 2.5 star rating out of 5,
mm-hmm.
which is like 50.
Yeah,
that's like 5 out of 10. That's not very low.
No, it's really not.
So even people that are pessimists, are like haters, are like
middling.
Like that's what they think.
Yeah.
So like you got to acknowledge it's pretty good. Yeah. With that being said, we're about 9-ish minutes into this video, so you should hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Hit the like button. Leave your comment down below with your thoughts on DCKO. And, what you're excited to see in this next level era, which we're going to talk about. Probably the final thing we talk about in this episode.
And make sure you also go to Instagram, Off the Record JK. Give us a follow there for some exclusive content every once in a while. And by every once in a while, I mean so far once, but I'm sure we'll do something else.
Yeah. And I got to give shout-outs to covers here, because I have the main cover for regular mainline DC issue done by Javi Fernandez. It's excellent. Darkseid's holding up the universe. It's pretty dope. Kirk has a special cover from Dan Mora that has Darkseid and Lex Luthor on it, which is really funny because we're about to dig in the plot of this issue.
Yes.
And so, in doing so, Kirk, would you like to start us off with everything before the title card?
Yes. So everything before the title card is one page, but it's really cool. First of all, we have a tournament winner chosen. Lex is being Lex. He's like, oh yeah, face me. I'm the champion. I'm the greatest thing. I'm Lex Luthor. And then immediately Darkseid's like, first of all, calls him Little One. That's a slight there. He says, congratulations, savor this moment, which is in hindsight,
It's
hilarious.
pretty
Like I read that, I saw the title page, then I saw the next couple of pages, which you'll get into in just a minute, and then I literally flipped back, and I was like, I had to reread this first page because of the irony of savor this moment.
Yes,
because he should have. He really should have savored the moment.
Savored that moment.
And then
title card.
Boom, title. Well, we get a bit of a zoom in into Superman, frozen statue form Superman, title card, Judah.
So we cut back to board game night, which is crazy, where it's everything's circular. It's great.
Yes.
And we discover that the thing that the Quantum Quorum at the beginning showed Superman and the rest of the Justice League was not the future, but it was an alternate world. And this was the backup that Time Trapper had. This was like his plan B. If everything fails, we have these people that we can just drop back on this world. And even this world is getting invaded by Darkseid too, but it's like we can always come back to this universe at this point in time. It's kind of frozen here, right?
Yes. And the timeline of when Darkseid is very important too.
Yes. And he's everywhere. Like he's every portion of time, but he's starting in the future and coming back.
Yes.
So
he was established previously.
Yes. And so in the past, like you can go back, you just can't really go forward, and you got to meet him in the present. That's kind of like what's going on here. So Superman kind of realizes this. He realizes Time Trapper's there. We get the revelation that if you're reading Superman, you found out ahead of time about Doomsday and Doomsday Time Trapper, his cycle of death and resurrection, and how that, like, him and Superman and how integral that's tied in. And
I didn't know that he was a Kryptonian creation.
You did not?
No.
Where did you think he was from?
I just thought he was some guy.
He just like showed up one day.
Yeah.
Loki, you don't really find that out until Hunter Prey. Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, I genuinely just thought, like, okay, this is a villain. This is a Superman villain. I mean, like, it's not like Lex Luthor was from Krypton, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just a villain, right? But I didn't know that. That was really cool.
Yeah. Actually, I think Jor-El worked on Doomsday, too, which is kind of...
Oh, okay.
If you read The Death of Superman, it's kind of fitting. But, yeah, no, we get this revelation, and he's talking about the alpha energy, and the thing that they got to beat Darkseid. Darkseid is purely, like we were talking about Lords of Order in a future episode. But he is like the wrong kind of discipline, controlling everything, that abuse of power.
Yeah.
And he is that into purely Omega control kind of thing.
Yeah. Which, by the way, for the reference, we just recorded our Volume 1 of Justice League International that will be releasing after this releases. So make sure you also stick around Tuesday for that. But please continue.
And he says you got to break the cycle. And it's like, you got a lot of alpha energy. You've been picking up Omega energy. You gotta have both to do this. And he lays out all of this before Superman, which is really dope, and again, beautifully drawn by Javi Fernandez, who is becoming quickly one of my top artists. And he's like, I'm gonna give you all of the alpha energy, Omega energy I got, and I want you to do one thing. Promise me you'll do one thing for me. And Superman's like, what? And he's, win. And Superman goes, I promise. And then he's like, let it begin. And we get this dope page of all of like the Doomsdays, Time Trappers that have ever been represented in art form kind of pouring into Superman.
Is one of these the one that we saw in the Rise of the Superwoman?
Yes, it would. Yeah, you would have to figure, because it's all of the lives of Doomsday.
I'm just wondering if that was like particularly drawn because it was so recent, or because I know, you know, if we're in the canon of the universe, then this is all of them, so he is there. But I just wanted to know.
Yeah, he probably is some nitpicker in there. Was like, oh, this is that one. Yeah. But
if you know in the comments, direct me to it.
Yeah,
please, because I want to see that.
And then this is just this epic moment, and we get like Superman is fully powered up, and Doomsday says his goodbye to Kal-El, and I'll let Kirk take over this next little bit because I know he enjoyed this part.
Yes, so this is what I was alluding to earlier, where Lex is. It kind of seems like he's not really savoring the moment because he's just being super boisterous about how he's awesome, and then we get a bit of a zoom in to, again, Superman frozen form.
Cracking.
But yes, he is cracking up something deep inside, and then bam. And in the whole chaos of, he's demanding, he being Lex Luthor, is demanding Doomsday.
Darkseid.
So many names. Darkseid surrender, all of a sudden we just see him evaporate.
Yes.
It's really interesting, the art of this page, which if you happen to be in the app, I know it's page 11 here, where he is kind of split into 4 different frames. Mm-hmm. Where, first frame is normal, second frame is a bit of a shock, there's light to the side of him, and the next frame is he's completely surrounded by this red light and starting to evaporate, and then the final frame is skeleton of his arm. Yeah. Really cool. It's like he barely had even the realization of any of it happening, and then boom, Superman's right there.
Ding ding.
All that's left to say is ding ding, and then the heart says we have a new King Omega, and Darkseid is saying exactly what I wanted to happen.
And he's like, don your crown. Yeah. And it's so dope. And so we get to see Superman take in this energy, and the Heart of Apocalypse encourages him to think about the world that showed him in the visions. And that's going to give him power. Mm-hmm. And then they're fighting all across this universe.
Well, I believe it was more than what he was shown in the visions, because we had the dream one in issue, was it 3? Yeah. Something like that. It's more than that. It's he has created his own universe.
Yes.
He went through the process of creation of that universe to be the fuel, just like for Darkseid, his fuel is the absolute universe. For Superman, his fuel is his little universe he created.
Yes. And it's the war begins, and they do, I love how this is visually represented. We got this in the first issue a little bit, but they are fighting across the entire universe.
Yes.
Metropolis, Themyscira, Oa, everywhere.
Yes. So we get the image of Superman punching Darkseid. That's one image, but then it's split up into 4 sections, where one is in Metropolis, one is in Themyscira, Rock of Eternity, and Oa, and the backgrounds for each of them are different, but the foreground of Darkseid and Superman fighting is the same.
Yes.
Which is
dope.
So cool.
Javi Fernandez, again, you're doing excellent work. Never stop.
And we saw some of that with the Darkseid part of it in issue 1. We did see some of it's the same guy, Darkseid, in the same position, but split over different places. But this is an action shot, and it's 2 of them too. So it's just so cool.
Yes. And then we get the heart reminding him about the world that he's built, right? And then we get them fighting through time, which is so excellently represented by doing different eras art styles. This entire shot is done by Javi. There's no reused art here, but he's recreating images from different things throughout DC history.
And again, if you happen to be in the app, it's page 17. And I know it's a little bit later if you're in the physical copy, because some of these are just one page, but they're double spreads in the physical.
Yes. And dude, it's
so cool.
It's excellent.
It's so well drawn. But an important part of that as well is that the heart is saying hey, you're losing ground, because as we mentioned before, time is important. He's coming from future going to the past.
Yes.
And so it caught up to present time, and that's where this whole thing started. And now it seems to the heart, at least, that Superman is retreat back into previous eras, and that Darkseid is gaining ground here.
Yes. And then it's the heart tells him he's cornered, and he's I'm right where I want to be.
At the Big Bang.
Yeah, at the Big Bang. He absorbs all of the energy. We have ourselves a fight. And it's there you are. It's what are you doing? And he's in Kansas, we call it playing Possum.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's dope.
The art in that
is insane.
I cannot express in words how good it is. If you are somehow nearly 20 minutes into this video, and first of all are getting all the spoilers for this, but second of all haven't seen the art that we're talking about, you are literally insane. Buy it right now. It's not that expensive.
Yes. And I love we get a couple more pages / panels of him and Darkseid fighting, and the heart's what are you doing? You almost have the world you want. Why are you stopping? Are you quitting? You can't quit. He's for the record, I'm not quitting. And it goes back to what we've established before. He's not about himself winning. The character of Superman is not a selfish character. It's not about him getting what he wants. It's about him serving other people. And we get that in this, where he's just I'm tagging everyone in.
Yeah. And that's where we were talking as well about the inversion of roles a little bit with Luthor and Superman,
Yes.
which is why we were kind of pro Luthor winning for a time there. Was Luthor was actually for something where Superman was just against something.
Yes.
And that something was change. When Superman got the power, he didn't want to recreate the universe how it should be in his mind. He just wanted to put it back where it was.
Yes.
Which then things happened where that was not going to be possible.
Yeah.
Because Earth was being turned into New Apocalypse.
Which is great.
But then, Lex's side of it was, well, but I planned from the get-go to change everything and make the universe the way it's supposed to be, right?
Yes.
But then in this, which is where we're talking a little bit in the page that you're looking at right now, he wants to let the universe naturally develop.
Yes.
So yes, he does have to change things.
He does.
Especially because he then gave up all the ground that could possibly exist in time to the Big Bang, to Darkseid. He does need to just let it loose and let it be recreated. And so that's him, where before he was wrong. Superman was wrong.
Yeah.
You can't just put it back.
Yeah.
But that's a lesson that he learned through all of this.
Yes.
And the Alpha Omega death rebirth stuff that he went through with Doomsday and Time Trapper.
Yeah.
Same person.
Yes.
Probably was a spark of that
catalyst. Yeah. Because it is like this. Darkseid does kind of low-key win, because that universe is gone. Like, he pushes him back to the Big Bang.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Yeah.
And this is it is that cycle. It's death, it's rebirth, it's resurrection. It's excellent, and he knocks Darkseid back and all the way to the absolute universe, I guess, as we kind of see when we'll talk about that when we get to the end.
Yeah.
But then we see Superman looming above, and they're to present day. So we have from the creation of the universe to present day. It's kind of like he lets it develop naturally, but it's also guided by his hands a little bit.
Yes. Well, and it's also to an extent guided by everybody else who was in the tournament, heroes and villains alike. We get the one frame of all of them breaking out of Superman. I actually didn't notice that. It's coming from his emblem, everybody that was in the fight, heroes and villains, all to be one final blow against Darkseid. But then also he sets them down into this new universe, and they're also meant to be guiding it. He says, what we need is not one hand to save us, but many, every hand, their hands, and yours too. And he's talking, again, both the heroes and the villains here.
Yes, he is. And it's great. It is excellent. And he sets it in motion. He says he's going to be back. We don't know where he's going, really. Yeah. We know he's going to return at some point. Yeah. And we also know he's gone. But this monologue I like. He's but I let our story be the opposite. Let it be wild, dangerous, explosive, terrifying, brave, mysterious, twisted, full of longing and redemption. Above all, let it be daring, and take us to the next level and beyond. That's how we'll win.
Yes. And against many of those adjectives, we get the certain characters who represent them.
Yes, and also are getting their own series in Next Level. Cross promotion, baby. And we get epilogues. We get
back in the board game.
Board game night does happen. Just minus Clark Kent / Superman. And Diana and Bruce are kind of checking on Lois, and she says she's doing fine. And Bruce is kind of ominous. He's we stopped Darkseid for now, but I don't think this game is really over. And it's not. We kind of know that. Yeah. We get kind of cut to the Justice League. We get Mr. Terrific, Booster Gold.
Who is now free of Darkseid.
Yes, who is free of Darkseid. And maybe he's going to, in Next Level, try to redeem himself a little bit. Yeah. We also get the Legion in the future, which I'm interested in. Cyborg, he says that he's going to issue the Heart of Cyborg protocol, which I'm interested to see what that is. Luthor, and then we cut back to that old Knightfight universe with Damian as Batman, and they're we have contact with the other Batmen. Yeah. Which is really interesting. Before, kind of our last little build-up thing, we cut back to Central City, Barry Allen. He's writing his new history of the DC Universe. Yeah. He's wait a second. I didn't write that. There's a whole new chapter. Get the real story. And then we get some Omega energy crackling, and I guess he's about to learn a whole lot about the Absolute Universe. Yeah. And then we cut to Darkseid. And fun fact, This tournament's happened on every world in the multiverse.
Yeah.
In the infinite multiverse. So not just the 52 set Earths. The entire Omniverse.
And he owns it all.
Yes. Except for
this universe.
Except for this universe. And that's how we end.
Yep.
And there will be a crisis of absolute proportions.
Yep.
Which...
So I actually have one question that kind of won't matter because I presume there's going to be... I guess this might be a little bit of my theory.
Yeah.
But because Darkseid owns all the other universes, which are infinite, and there's one holdout, which is this one, the newly created one.
Yes.
There's probably going to be a little bit more of a harder reset coming down the line. I
would say that, yeah.
I don't know anything. The fact that you're agreeing with me, I am very happy with. But that's kind of the vibe that I got from this. But in the meantime, it seems like, and I guess it's kind of confirmed by the Game Night epilogue, that all of the people who were in the fight still know everything that happened.
Yes.
And potentially, because, we get some of the... did Cyborg was in the fight, was he?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Scratch that little last bit. But so all the people who were in the fight still know all of their history from the universe they were originally from, but this is a new universe.
Yes.
So it's not like the characters are different. They're just in a different place.
Yes.
That's like
and it's
pretty similar.
It's like 90% of the way the same.
And then the characters are the same. The universe is 90% the same. So it's mostly the same here. So it's not like at this point we're getting a massive reset, although technically the universe is reset.
Well, it's more... I would say this is a streamline. Like, I say that this makes everything make more sense.
Yes, which is what we will talk a little bit more about, which he and I already have, but that comes out Tuesday in the JLI video. So stick around for that if you want even more DCKO talk.
Yeah.
And how kind of the timeline of this universe all works and things like that. But... yeah, I don't know. I was interested that these characters still know all the same thing, even though it's a new universe, and that lent me to thinking like they do still have to do a hard reset at some point. And so I guess that would be the next crisis.
We are getting close to 90 years since Superman. We'll get that in 2028, which is not very far away.
Not at all.
And Crisis was the first Crisis on Infinite Earths was used to celebrate 50 years. We haven't really had a hard reset since Crisis on Infinite Earths. You can say New 52. New 52 was not a hard reset except for with some characters, which it basically was for Superman, Wonder Woman, and like Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Batman just had his lore condensed into 4 years, which sounds insane because obviously
that's a lot of time.
Can't be that young.
Yeah.
But I do think a hard reset's coming down the line. I do think that's going to be like a merger between the Absolute and regular universe. But I still think we're going to have time before that happens.
Yes.
Like, I think that this...
Because the Absolute Universe is financially performing very well. Like, where the Ultimate Universe in Marvel, it was too. It was doing quite well.
It was great.
Especially the Spider-Man stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Which I have read. It was doing great. I read Volume 1 of the Wolverine thing as well. It was pretty good. But then they shut it down. That's something that needs to continue.
Yeah.
DC's doing that with the Absolute Universe because it's doing well. It's performing well. The stories are great for the most part. The things that happen in the stories are great for the most part.
Yeah.
It's, with slight disagreements between Judah and I, as you should go listen to in some of our other videos, most recent being Absolute Batman 2, Volume 2, where we had bigger disagreements about that. But you can't just give up a property like this so quickly to it starting. And they aren't. Now they're even starting new Absolute storylines with different characters.
And Catwoman.
I'm super excited for Green Arrow.
Maybe Aquaman coming down the line?
Yeah. So
that would be crazy.
That is, first of all, financially. They're going to want to keep this going for a little while. But then also, from the audience side of it, I want these things to go on for a little while because they're really good.
Yeah.
I want some of the ramifications of this event to, have to be dealt with before wiping the slate clean with everything. Like, you want character, for a story to be good, you not only does the story have to be good, what happens after the story has to be good.
Does.
Otherwise, kind of ruins everything, right?
Yeah.
So let's think of CW's Flash, right? First couple seasons are good, middle seasons are middling, and then the last few seasons are so terrible that it ruins the entire show, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that are like that. So if you don't give this time to marinate in what has happened with this event, and you just, now we're hard resetting everything, that's not great, right? So
yes, So I want to dig into Next Level and everything about Next Level, because there's things I know that you probably don't, that you kind of get hints to from these last couple images in this. I don't know if they're in the digital one, but I know they're here physically.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about characters getting Next Level books that we have confirmed. So Lobo is getting a Next Level book right off the bat. So is Batwoman, and so is Deathstroke. So that's kind of like our starting kind of...
What is Next Level?
So Next Level is the second act, of All In, right?
And All In is one of the first comics
we did on this show. Yes.
Yeah.
So the idea behind All In was to have the first like Star Wars Episode 4, right? Have that New Hope story.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what All In is. This is kind of Empire Strikes Back if you think about it in a way, because like yes, the universe is preserved, but we've lost a lot, and we're also missing Superman. So like it's kind of risky. And so the idea is that this Act 2 will serve as the intermediate time before the final act, which will end. It's been kind of gradually getting pushed back because I think that they're like finding more ideas to expand on what's going on right now. But maybe late 2027, early 2028 is when Absolute Crisis would look to begin, right? So we have Lobo, Batwoman, and Deathstroke that are our first books, and then we're getting Firestorm and Zatanna is like the next kind of wave of that. We have a Barbara Gordon breakout one, but that ties into Batman stuff, which we'll kind of get into a little bit as well. And then we have the Demon, Deadman, Legion of Superheroes, Jonah Hex. Though I don't know if it's going to be strictly Jonah Hex. It might be All-Star Western. We have rumored other books. We got Emperor Aquaman going on, which is, I'm going to be real with you, I'm very excited for Emperor Aquaman.
Okay, I'm actually I want to pick up Firestorm and Deathstroke stuff, and I want to cover them on this podcast.
Well,
Firestorm is a cool character.
Yes. So, fun update. We're probably starting in March, and again, we have to put this on the calendar. Starting in March, we're going to have one episode every month dedicated to a Next Level check-in, where it will be a round robin talking about the issues of ongoing series we're following or events happening within Next Level that we're going to just talk about. So, Kirk is probably going to... I'm picking up Deathstroke. I'm definitely picking up Firestorm. I'm going to get Zatanna. I'm trying out Lobo and Batwoman. Those are more tentative.
I might be interested in... I see Etrigan on this page.
The Demon?
Demon.
Yes.
You did say that would be
I'm a
one.
big Demon guy.
I would be interested because of my recent, I guess, re-realization. I know that I knew this, but I totally forgot that Etrigan is the half-brother of King Arthur.
Yeah, Merlin.
Merlin?
It's okay. You're in the right area.
I was like literally one generation removed.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. You're close. You're close.
Yeah. Merlin... That makes more sense, actually, because wizardry. Anyway, kind of cool. Again, just reading New History, DCU, which is about to be kaput. But still a good story. And I guess now ties into DCKO 5 because we had Flash doing the thing that he was doing in that. Mm-hmm. So kind of cool. But now I'm kind of more interested in the Demon. Plus, of course, the Superman number 33, which was the really big tie-in where it was Demon Lex Luthor,
which was great.
All that stuff that was going on was really great, genuinely awesome. So I'd be interested maybe in some Etrigan stuff.
Yes.
Plus also the kind of version of Etrigan that's obviously not Etrigan, but the version of Etrigan that's in Invincible, like the demon guy.
The demon guy.
Like I like that.
Darkblood?
I like that guy a lot in Invincible, and they're kind of similar. I mean, demons from hell who are not in hell right now are.
I see what you're saying.
It's kind of interesting.
But I'm excited for these characters to get focus, and I'm really interested to see where it goes and how it weaves into the overarching narrative. Because they don't just I found out in All In, they don't just do miniseries or launch ongoings in this era of DC just for no reason.
Yeah.
They're for a purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that these characters are being selected for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very excited for that. then some speculation.
Yeah.
With some bigger characters, things that are coming up. So Wonder Woman is about to enter the Wonder War with the matriarch, who is somehow tied to Darkseid, and I have no idea how that works. That's happening. Batman's about to enter a rough period of time. So Poison Ivy, again, this is apparently going to be established like next week. Poison Ivy is about to be mayor of Gotham, and Vandal Savage is going to be commissioner.
I love Vandal Savage,
and he's going to have like a militant army that's hunting down the entire Bat family.
Oh, hell yes!
Yeah,
I need that in my veins.
Yes, and apparently, like Robin quit. We kind of already covered that. So the Bat family's a little smaller, but also Barbara Gordon's going to get captured. We know that. There's like going to be a whole thing revolving Batman's world is about to be changed, and he's about to be challenged in a lot of ways. We got like new villains, which we're going to cover eventually when we cover Matt Fraction's Batman. We have a whole new team of Titans that's going to be led by Cyborg. That's interesting. And we have Static and the Milestone characters coming back to be a central part of the DC universe because of what Superman did, doing history rewrites. We also have the Spectre, and they're about to search for the Spectre. We have the reign of the Super Boys, because Superman's gone, and only one man can take his place, and we have a lot of competitors.
So there's a lot of things to look forward to.
On.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have a new primary Green Lantern as well.
Oh.
Kyle Rayner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very interested to see what that's about then.
And new creative team on Flash.
Very interested.
And we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. It's exciting.
Yeah. Stay tuned for we're gonna probably be going all out for these things. Genuinely, we might have to the video that we just recorded, but that will be coming out following this on Tuesday, is JLI Volume 1, right? We might have to do videos at this point where we're covering like 2 volumes at a time, or, if it's live issues, 2 issues of something at a time. Yeah. Because there are going to be so many things, all of which we want to talk about.
Yes.
So stay tuned for things like that. We're probably going to be pumping out things
like
even more. Like, if you thought this semester was a lot, doing almost always 3 videos a week,
we might start making it 6 days a week.
Like, it's going to be a lot, yeah. Or at least the 3 that we do will be covering more things, even though we will also try to streamline things so they're not quite as long, but still. Yes. And beyond the stuff that's coming with DC, and after this whole DCKO event that we are looking forward to, and even with a lot of the Absolute Universe stuff that we're looking forward to, again, Green Arrow especially, we're looking forward to, and that will come out this summer. We're also going to be covering the Star Wars Maul series as that comes out, 2 episodes at a time for 5 weeks for a total of 10 episodes. That will be, I believe, in April through May. I believe the last one is May the 5th, which
Mr. By Day.
I know, right? Unless I'm wrong and it is the 4th, but regardless, pretty close to when it should be ending, obviously. And then the comic that you guys covered and let me read after your comic stack video, that was not very good.
Yeah,
but
it's a tie-in comic.
Yeah, very disappointing. But hopefully the series would be better than that. And we also have
Marvel stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, we have. I will probably alone at this point be covering the season finale and retrospective on Star Trek Starfleet Academy when that comes out.
It's gonna be tough.
Who knows how much I'll actually talk about on that, but since we started the series, I want to finish it, even if we didn't watch kind of live release the last 4 episodes, because it was really bad. But actually, with that, I will have my first poll, which is Star Trek Starfleet Academy comic book number 1. I can't remember the full title of it. I think it might just be Star Trek Starfleet Academy number 1.
Yeah.
In comic book form. That is April 15th is when that's coming out, and so I will be pulling that then, and I will probably cover it in Comic Stack with y'all on whichever number of Comic Stack that will be, to kind of tie it into what the series was doing, and see, like, is this any better? Because, like, this doesn't really have Kurtzman fingers on it. Like, technically, I guess he runs all the canon of Star Trek, but it's well established that all the written stuff, the games, everything like that is beta canon, and so his grubby little fingers that ruin everything are not going to be touching this comic, and so we'll see
how good it is.
are the characters just inherently flawed and bad, or is it just poor writing? It's probably poor writing. So, I guess I'm a little excited for that. And then we've got so much more down the pipeline as well. Oh, one other big thing that is very different than what we usually do is Project Hail Mary. When that comes out within a few weeks, we will also record on that. Very excited for that. We're probably actually going to watch it with a large group of people because apparently the hype around this is big.
Yeah. So. Ryan Gosling, who doesn't want to see him in theaters?
Right.
On the big screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So that'll be really exciting too. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know what's coming out when it comes out. And
exactly.
You keep track of things because, again, there's going to be a lot.
There is going to be a lot. All right. With that being said, we'd love to hear your thoughts again down in the comments below if you've made it this far in, which I know at least one of you has. And with that being said, good morning, good evening, good night. Oh, I get to shout out a beverage this time. Well, actually, no. You have to shout out a beverage this time.
Because in our previous recording that comes out after this, I couldn't think of something.
Yeah, you're just terrible.
If you are currently drinking Gatorade that has been poured from powder form into a bottle, which you shook, massive shout out to you because that's extremely niche.
Shout out King. All right, that being said, God bless and goodbye.